Singh, who is the Secretary NDMC and Director of NDMC Smart City Limited. We are at the Urban Innovation Summit in Lucknow. Madam, we heard about the various initiatives which NDMC is taking in the field of smart city. What is the unique thing about NDMC Smart City Limited and the initiatives of NDMC in the field of smart cities?
See, the uniqueness is that we're looking at an integrated approach to service delivery with citizen at the center. But when I say citizens, the other unique part is that in our package we have something for everyone. So we believe in starting young because the children who are coming to these schools of NDMC, so they should be the first beneficiary in terms of like whatever developments of best of technology, best of infrastructure that we think of providing for our citizens. When I say that they should be the first, I mean in terms of looking at the kind of education which is being imparted to them. Now, how digitally enabled it is. Are they getting the best of technology infusion in terms of the best of audio visual aids, which can improve learning outcomes? So these are some things that I believe in, like looking at a life cycle approach. Because today when we look at the needs for a smart city, it needs a paradigm shift in terms of how we approach towards bringing solutions to complex problems. The problem may be that of urban mobility. The problem is that of like conservation of water, conservation of energy, or providing the most efficient use of the limited resources. So it is also important that when we say that we are digitizing our services, whether our citizens are fully equipped to avail of it, so it's a two-way dialogue. So it's like matching the gap between the demand and the supply. So when we look at smart solutions, is it smart enough for everyone? Is it inclusive enough is the big question. And to enable the technology to be friendly to everyone, it is important to prepare our young minds. So even the students are like
Madam, one of the questions which is asked about NDMC is that in the NDMC area is in a way highly organized, highly systematic. Is there anything smart needed at all?
All the more reason that if something is attributed as being organized, how do we sustain that? How do we keep up to the expectation of being one of the best capital cities, not only nationally but also internationally? So we have this huge onus, huge challenge of, keeping up to the desired level of excellence, and actually being one of the global best. So our challenge is different because all the time we are looking at standards which are like no bar, no less than any of the best of international standards. Having said that, see, one of our biggest challenges is that even though we are in a small area, even though the number of residents today are just about 2 lakhs, but when you look at the floating population coming to the NDMC area, it is every day ranging somewhere between 17 and 20 lakhs. Because there are so many people who are coming for the sake of their jobs, offices, and markets, the central business district, which is the Connaught place. And then, some of our very frequented places, of course, is India Gate. Some of our very frequented places are markets, like even Sarojini Market. Then, you see, NDMC is not just what you see in terms of Lutyens, Delhi, or posh bungalows, or like the buildings like North Block or South Block or Rashtrapati Bhavan or Parliament House. NDMC also comprises of clusters. And I think few people know about it. See, there are more than 20 clusters, 21 clusters. And we are equally responsible for giving them the best of amenities, the best of services, which we would be responsible for providing, to the higher income groups. So our big challenge is that while we are looking at, say, a place like Khan Market, we are also looking at how to organize, say, the vendors who are there in Janpat, who are there in Sarojini Market, the thousands of people who throng to these places from all over the country, or even the foreign tourists who come. It's a popular destination. We are also faced with the challenge of providing the kind of services which like embassies of various states like they would be looking at. So having said that, like the waste management, the energy conservation, looking at our water supply systems, looking at our lighting systems on the street, off the street. So all that is like, always perpetually, a demand on us to ensure that there is no fault at all and what we deliver is absolutely foolproof. And you'll find the kind of green around that we have, the roundabouts that we have, the trees that which are like a heritage trees, the parks that we have, those are again like, huge responsibility for us to ensure that we not only protect them, preserve them, but also keep preparing for the second generation trees, which is like a continuous thing. And the other challenge that we find is that, how do we, kind of give that sense of entity, belongingness to those who are not actually residing there, but they're there practically the whole day. So, see, it's not as simple as like somebody residing in a particular town, who's always been there. So here, with a floating population which is coming and going, yet we want to give them that sense of belonging, where any piece of plastic, waste, litter that you throw is spoiling my city, and it's my city. So how do we give them that feeling that we are not just coming here for the sake of job, but that sense of like ownership, that they have to have pride in the whole ambience that they do. So that's another one of our like continuous challenge, that they may not really belong there, yet unless and until they have all the people who are interfacing with the NDMC area, they have to have that sense of belonging, which is important to maintain that level of probably sanitation and the green, which we expect to see around all the time.
How do you compare the progress in NDMC Smart City as compared to many other cities in the country?
See, I would say that we have been kind of privileged enough to be able to experiment with lots of things, lots of new ideas, which are easy in terms of like the knowledge which can be exchanged to a place like Delhi, in terms of all the good practices, to be why it is easy is because we have access to the best of technology. We have the many firms who would come to us just for the sake of a pilot, because they also know that anything which is piloted well in NDMC will have a replicable effect. So just now, like coming to your summit, you're the Innovation Summit, and seeing that you had the launch of 311 app over here. So NDMC had experimented with it successfully, where citizen services are there on, say, the click of a button on the smartphone with the 311 app, which can be downloaded to, gain access to multiple services that we offer. Similarly, just now when looking at your exhibition, we saw that ESL has put up a stall and they're talking about, now Lucknow replicating the smart meters. So, NDMC again had been like one of the first to bring it in the country, the smart metering system. Then we have the LED energy efficient lighting systems for our street poles. And so many of these things, like even the parking, the smart parking systems, and the kind of the fountains that you find in NDMC area, the libraries, the community libraries that we come up with. So I would say that not only in terms of access to knowledge and practice and technology, even resources for us have not been really a constraint. So we have been able to actually look at new and modern ways which may not always be technology driven. For example, like library. What it needed was providing a good ambience, but with again the ownership of the public to be driven through a partnership approach. So we have few successful partnerships for our school libraries, where we calling them joyful libraries. And so we have like partners in different fields, and there are private sector investments also in different fields where we have these models where which has immensely benefited many of the other municipalities. Because even though in our case, when I say that resources would not have been a constraint, yet the fact that for sustainability and better maintenance, better ownership, and we've encouraged private investments. So those are also certain, I would say, financial viability aspect that have been takeaways for good practices to be adopted by others around. And like I mentioned recently, one of our good practice was for non-motorized way of transport, encouraging a biking system. We call it the smart biking system, and it's like a public sharing bike. So, and it is basically meant to make the end-to-end connectivity for the commuters easy, those who are coming by metro or going to office. So for that short distance, do you hire an auto or you walk through? So people are finding it very convenient now to pick the bike and drop it to another docking place. So, and in terms of you see better maintenance of services like others, we also coming up with a control and command centers. Initially, we had put up a secondary control and command center operated in-house, but now we are having a much more advanced version which is coming. So technology, I would say, is being utilized, but at the same time, there's a lot of thinking behind like what services, how effectively they are being, utilized to meet the genuine problems which the citizens have. So when you say deploying CCTV, now just deploying CCTV may not respond to all the problems unless it is thought through at the back end. Who's going to watch, who's going to respond. So for our schools, to make it like safe school, to make it happy school. So we have a lot of activities going on. So, like an audit, safety audit of schools. So it involves like a lot of community engagement, I would say. So civic engagement is something that we are trying across different services. Be it through the school management committee, be it through the involvement of resident welfare association to manage the waste, for local composting, for segregation of the waste at the doorstep itself. Then for the market trader association, for them to look at their responsibility in terms of, maybe coming up with, bulk aggregators for the hotels. So all of them have their own roles and responsibilities. So as a civic body, we really feel that it's not just enough to think that we are giving services. It's most important to also awaken, some kind of a, civic consciousness, about the role of the citizens too, about their responsibilities. Like right now, plastic waste, that is a huge challenge. Unless we really, make people more aware, just finding and imposing penalty, which, as per the act we can do, even for garbage, like as per the act we can do. But simultaneously, there's always an effort to make citizens more aware, about their roles and responsibilities. And glad that people are coming forward. Organizations like even Art of Living came forward. You know, set up like an organic waste compactor, yeah, where like the waste that we gave, collected from the colonies, that has been turned into, you know, compost, the manure of which can be utilized in our own gardens. Similarly, like we have decentralized and, you know, sewage treatment plants, and the treated water is being used to, you know, water the plants in our own garden. So we're looking at these smart ways of resource conservation. Now Jal Shakti is a very important abhiyan. So we're encouraging more of like rainwater harvesting systems. And that again does not mean just government buildings, but the private players have to be equally encouraged to see their responsibility, you know, in terms of conserving water for any new buildings. Again, like the owners, the constructions, the contractors themselves have to be conscious of their responsibility. You know, then for the disposal of C&D waste, you know, the responsiveness which has to come from people to know what it means, you know, what penalty can be levied if the construction and demolition waste is like left at the site. A continuous dialogue is important with the, I would say with you know, different categories, because citizens, one dialogue fitting one size fitting all, it will never. So what messaging for whom and how is the big question.
Madam, how do you find this concept of a conference like this, which we had to?
Oh, I think you know, I would like to congratulate you for organizing it successfully in terms of like calling the, you know, the very diverse range of stakeholders. Because it is important for the government, the academia, the industry, the private sector, the banking institutions. So for everyone to understand, you know, what each other is doing. And here I could see that you had a different range of people. And the politicians, of course, yeah. So all kinds of thought leaders coming together, because they, you see, everybody is like working in a silos otherwise, in a very segmented approach. So it's important for, say, a banking institution to know what the contemporary challenge of a civic body is. So when we talk of solid waste management, when we talk of like a system through which, you know, your traffic management has to work in a seamless manner, you know, and then to look at like some of your exhibition and the stall over there, where the banking solution is telling us that we have worked out a, you know, one card through which you can like, yeah, you know, probably, you know, the interpolability in terms of the data and in terms of the payments, you know, which are made, you know, it can be more seamless. So, you know, so these dialogues have to continue, and I think forums like these are like the best way to provide that, you know, face-to-face dialogue. Of course, like, we can always have a web chat, we can always have a video conference, yet, you know, there's no substitute to having a face-to-face dialogue. So I appreciate the effort. Thank you.
And madam, we also bring out this magazine called eGov, where we try to document the success and the challenges of various government organizations in implementing technology. So, if you have any suggestions on that.
See, I do have a very important suggestion that, you know, for me, technology at times is like really kind of driven for the sake of, you know, showing that we have a solution to the problems, you know, which may be just theoretical. You know, it's like an algorithm which has been built, yeah, without actually looking at the ground reality. So very, very important, even for a control and command center. What, and who's going to really use it? Are the manpower going to be deployed? Are they equipped enough? Have you really managed to capacitate them? You know, is the absorption level good enough? So these questions today must be asked, because when you say like the use of technology, it is definitely one of the enablers, but not a substitute to the human intelligence, and not a substitute also to the kind of sensitivity and apathy which is needed in our approach towards how we use the technology and for what purpose. Because you see, if I don't want to solve a problem, my data center will come up with 10 different types of gaps which are visible. But the same set of people who are supposed to respond to the gap will not respond to it. So what use? The control and command centers. What use the technology? Unless our own, the approach and the aptitude is calibrated to looking at, bringing genuine solutions for the public good. In my view, we will not be able to reach the desired goal, which we feel that technology can probably provide.
I think we can conclude here. I thank you on behalf of
Thanks.
the eGov magazine and Elets for your presence here.